Jimmytheretard for the ShavenHeadz channel. Today, it's going to be a quick video because it's 23 degrees, I think, and the wind's blowing and it's cold. And, yeah, it's cold. So, I'm going to share with you guys a dream that I had the other night, which was kind of a crazy, jacked up dream. But here we go. Okay. Me and some guy that I've never seen before in my life, but in my dream he was a friend of mine. We were in this old hotel, walking around, just kind of checking things out. And we'd split up. And I noticed over to the right, as you went in this big ballroom, there was it said bar on the door. So I opened the door and walked in, looked around, and it was just old cobwebs, dust, you know, like an old building that had been sitting abandoned for 50 years. And I walked in, and I kind of remember leaning up against the bar, and I was looking at the things on the wall, and then all of a sudden it was like, pshoo, and everything was clean. There was a bartender there, and he's like, "Hey, what can I get you?" And I was kind of like, "Let me get a beer." And he's like, "Hey, okay." So he gave me a beer. And I stood there and was talking to him for a minute. I don't remember what we said, but I remember we talked, and then my beer was gone. And I left, and when I walked out the door, everything was old and dirty again. And I remember seeing off in the distance, looked like a craps table. So I walked up to this craps table, and I'm standing there just looking at the craps table. And then all of a sudden, it was like, bam, the lights came on. There were probably 7, 8 people standing around the craps table. But they were dressed in probably late 1800s type clothing. And the guy standing next to me, he's like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, "Hey, pretty good." I'm trying not to act all freaked out, even though, I didn't know what was going on. And so the stick guy slid me the dice, and he's like, "You're the shooter." So I'm like, "It's okay, I'm just going to watch." And the guy next to me gave me some chips and said, "No, go ahead, play." He goes, "I got a feeling about you. You're going to be lucky." And I'm like, "Hey, okay, sure, whatever. Can't hurt." So I remember we played for a little while, and the guy next to me, he looked at me, and he goes, "It's about time for us to go." And I'm like, "Where are you going?" And he said, "It's really none of your business. It's about time for us to go." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, it's been good talking to you." And he held his hand out, and he goes, "Here, I want you to take these." And I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" And I looked down, and he had a stack of chips. And I'm like, no, I can't take your money. He goes, "Where we're going, we don't need it." And he said, "You take it, you keep it." And I'm like, "Okay." So he handed me like $6 grand worth of chips. And I thanked him. And as soon as I said thank you, they all vanished, and everything was old and dirty and crappy again. And then that's when I woke up. And, there was nothing special about the dream. It's not like I knew anybody in it, or they were long-lost relatives or friends that have died or whatever. But for some reason, it just kind of stuck with my head. So, if you've had any crazy dreams that just make absolutely no sense, that have actually stuck with you, make a video response. Put them down there. Let me know about them, because I like hearing about all the warp crap that goes on in people's minds when you're asleep. So, share and subscribe and rate and do all that other crap that everybody asks. But I just thought I'd share that with you, let you know what's going on inside my head. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.